is Aisha Brian. This election brief. Within the next 30 minutes, we have the latest update from the political scene. We are live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125, and all our social media handles at myjournline.com. My personal handle is at Denana Aisha. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants and German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty. Election headquarters for an informed electorate. Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says his experience in and out of office as president will make him a better president if re-elected. Though proud of his achievements in office, Mr. Mahama says his time out of power has offered him opportunity to reflect on his performance. Mr. Mahama was voted out of office after a term as president and another as vice president. The former president, seeking a comeback, reveals his next government will focus on turning around the economy. He was speaking at Kambatiak in the Northeast region as the NDC wraps up the Building Ghana tour.
I've been president before, and I had the experience. There's no school where you go and pay school fees and enroll and say, I want to learn how to be president. You have to learn on the job. Luckily for me, I got the experience working with a very good, honest, one of the best presidents we've had in Ghana, Professor John Evans Atta Mills. And so as president, we did some things well. We did a lot of infrastructure. We provided health facilities in many districts and regions. We provided educational facilities. In the 8 years when Prof and myself were in government, we removed more than 3,000 schools under trees. We built more than 4,000 CHIPS compounds. We built roads and highways. We provided water to people. I had the privilege of commissioning the Bunkurugu water system. We extended electricity to as many communities as possible. If communities have light today, and Ghana has one of the highest rates of access to electricity, then it is thanks to the NDC administration. But on reflection, I've been out of office for 8 years. It gives me the opportunity to look back and look at some of the things that we could have done better. And not everybody gets that opportunity. That you become president, you go out of office, and you get the opportunity to come back again. And so I know that in the 4 years coming, I will be a much better president than even the first time when I was president. One, because of the experience that I've been president before, and two, because I have had the opportunity to reflect on my period of time as president.
Still on the flag bearer of the NDC, he has labeled the ruling MPP administration led by Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr Bawumia as the biggest political scam in the history of the Fourth Republic. According to him, the present government was packaged beautifully in deceit to win political power. To the former president, most of the promises of the NPP government are yet to be redeemed.
The Northeast region is the last to be toured by the NDC flag bearer as part of the party's Building Ghana tour. At Kambatiak, the former president solicited the views of chiefs and the people to feed into the next NDC manifesto. John Mahama, in addressing the gathering, enumerated some issues which have stalled development in the country.
Today, after 7.5 years of MPP administration, if you take the total national debt and you say we should share it amongst all the 30 million Ghanaians, each of us will pay 20,000 Ghana cedis. That is the extent of the damage that has been done to this economy. A government that just thought that borrowing and spending was all that you should do. But it's the hypocrisy that is annoying. This is the same government where somebody said that if it was just borrowing and spending, even their child in primary school can be president. And they said the money is there. I worked in Bank of Ghana, I know the money is there. We can develop this country without borrowing. Today, look at where they've ended us. Inflation is high. Hardship is across the land. There's no support for farmers. The cocoa industry has collapsed.
To the former president, most of the promises of the NPP government are yet to be redeemed. For this reason, he tagged the government as a scam.
This government has been a disaster. Indeed, I say that the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration is the biggest political scam in the history of the Fourth Republic. They package themselves very beautifully with a lot of lies and deceit, and they got the people to vote for them. Today is just a story of broken promises. One village, one dam. Where are the dams? One district, one factory. Where are the factories? $1 million per constituency per year. Where is the 1 million? And that's why my brother Haruna said, when you go to woo a woman, you can add deceit to it. You can deceive her to win her. But after you win her and she comes into your house, you can't use deceit to keep her in your house.
On the quality of life, the NDC flag bearer believes government has failed in improving the livelihoods of the people. Mr. Mahama says it will be surprising for the electorate to retain the NPP in power.
After what we have gone through in 7.5 years, it surprises me anybody who will still go to the ballot box and say he's going to vote for MPP again. Maybe those who have made money under this government, yes, they will go and vote again. But I know that the majority of Ghanaians have seen a reversal in the quality of their lives in these 7.5 years. And the majority of Ghanaians who are feeling the pinch, the majority of Ghanaians who are finding it difficult to put food on the table for your children, the majority of Ghanaians who are finding it difficult to travel because you cannot afford transport fares, the drivers of this country who can't buy fuel, the teachers who do not have learning aids in school, the nurses who have finished school and are sitting at home. 4 batches of nurses have finished nursing training and they have no work to do. I know that the majority of those people will make a good choice.
The former president earlier paid a courtesy call on the Gambarana and Chief Imam at Gambaga. He also visited the overlord of Mampurugu, Nairi. For Joy News, Nanaya Aljima, Northeast Region.
We'll be getting some reaction from the NPP shortly, but still the opposition NDC is raising concerns about the integrity of the Electoral Commission heading into the December polls after the EC admitted some of their biometric verification devices were stolen. The party is demanding immediate and decisive action from the Electoral Commission, emphasizing the NDC will not accept nothing less than a full restoration of total security for all EC logistical equipment, a thorough investigation, and a complete accountability. Here's the party's General Secretary, Fifi Q.
It's fought tirelessly to establish. The lackadaisical attitude and dismissive responses from the Electoral Commission officials in the face of such a breach are unacceptable and insult the very intelligence of every Ghanaian. We demand immediate and decisive action from the Electoral Commission. The time for excuses is over. The time for transparency, accountability, and rectification is now. Ghana is watching, and the world is watching. The integrity of our elections and the future of our democracy hang in the balance. Let us be clear. We would accept nothing less than a full restoration of total security for all EC logistical equipment for the upcoming elections, a thorough investigation, and a complete accountability. Anything short of this represents an affront to our nation's future. We are gathered here today not just to express our outrage, but to ignite a collective demand for immediate and sweeping corrective and it must act now. Now, before we discuss the substantive issues, I want to publicly appreciate the patriotic Ghanaian whistleblowers across various sectors who continue to provide the NDC with vital information about the blatant aberrations that are going on, the abuse of power, and the organized thievery within the public sector under the non-performing Akufo-Addo and Dr Bawumia government. We all know how this non-performing and incompetent NPP government has inflicted unprecedented hardship on our people, with staggering levels of unemployment, high inflation, a dislodged exchange rate, hikes in transportation fares, and fuel prices. Excruciating.
Fifi Q also questioned why the Electoral Commission did not immediately communicate to political parties and the general public about the missing devices, describing the EC as grossly disrespecting and being dishonest with its major stakeholders.
It is unsurprising to the NDC, and we believe to many decent-minded Ghanaians, that significant component of the biometric voter registration, BVR kits, could be stolen at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission of Ghana under lock with CCTV surveillance. We wish to emphasize that but for the vigilance of a courageous whistleblower who alerted the NDC and the subsequent probing by our parliamentarians in Parliament, the shocking thefts of crucial biometric equipment at the EC's heavily surveilled headquarters would have remained shrouded in secrecy. This raises deeply troubling questions. Why did the Electoral Commission not disclose this significant breach of security? What prevented them from being upfront with the political parties, the Ghanaian public, and our development partners about such a critical incident? How can we trust an institution tasked with safeguarding the sanctity of our electoral process when it conceals such vital information? Is this not indicative of a lack of goodwill, or perhaps something even more sinister? Does the EC not owe the very stakeholders it serves, the citizens of Ghana, complete transparency and accountability? As the situation stands, there is a startling absence of verifiable evidence that this theft was even reported to the national security or the police, as claimed by the Electoral Commission. No transparency and no respect for the stakeholders. One must ask, why the silence?
Fifi Q is General Secretary of the NDC. We can now go back to the description of the NPP government as a political scam by the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. I've been joined by the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed, for reactions on this. Grateful for your time, Haruna Mohammed. First, how do you react to the description by John Dramani Mahama, NDC flag bearer, that the NPP government is the biggest scam of our political history?
Thank you very much, Aisha. I'm very surprised, and in another breath, the person putting this particular statement out there is somebody that Ghanaians themselves cannot trust. We know that this is a person that we had given opportunity to use the taxpayers' money to sponsor his education. He went on to become an assembly member, went on to become a member of parliament, went on to become a deputy minister, went on to become a minister, became a vice president, a president, and a former president. And he still has to get the guts to insult the intelligence of the people of Ghana to say they have short memories. So I'm not surprised if such a person is telling the whole MPP that NPP government is a scam. It's left with the people of Ghana to understand that the free SHS that we promised the people of Ghana, we have delivered on that. People, more Ghanaians are having access to education. The road infrastructure that we have come to meet, the difference between us and his government is clear for the good people of Ghana to see that we have been able to build more railways, we have been able to build more roads, we have been able to improve on hospital infrastructure, health infrastructure, and a whole lot of things in terms of provision of factories. We have been more accountable party or government by any standard when it comes to governance in Ghana. So for such a person to go because he's desperate to become president, to say that the MPP government is a scam, I'm not surprised because leading up to his desperation, he can say anything at all. Because he has told the people of Ghana before that he's not going to lie, and he has started lying. He continued to say different things and move in a different direction. So we live in a democracy. He can continue to deceive his own mindset, believing that he has won elections, but it will surprise him at the end of the election.
The NDC flag bearer gives examples of what he has done. If you go to the health sector, he's giving you a list of hospitals that his government constructed. He's talked about road infrastructure. He's giving you that list. And he says that all the promises you made, you have deceived Ghanaians. And for some few days now, people have been complaining about electricity. One of the issues that the NDC has raised is the fact that they did better than you when it comes to providing power for the people of Ghana. Why shouldn't we believe John Dramani Mahama if he says so? Because a lot of people are sleeping in the dark and they are not getting any response or any explanation for that.
Aisha, we can't believe him because this was a president who inherited government from his predecessor upon being the vice president. He took the highest growth rate over. That was about 14-point-something or 13-point-something%. He brought it up to 3.4% and handed over to us. This was the president that was there. We had, at a point in time, it was Dumkura. We never had light. For 4 good years, companies were operating between 10-20%. Today, those companies, despite the fact that the light is going up...
But at that time, Haruna Mohammed, at that time, there was a timetable provided for you so you can plan your life. It's not the same this time around.
You see, the period in which the timetable came at that particular point in time is different. Look at the report of the PURC. The PURC has indicated in their report that between 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., that is the peak hours. And that was the period that the most of the light outages, in terms of about 4,142 of outages had happened. And these were the period. Calculate from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's about 5 hours. Calculate the time that John Mahama had left the people of this country, including businessmen, companies, even your radio or TV stations were being run down because we are running on generators. And these were the issues we are talking about. We are not saying that we have done far better, that this is where the people of Ghana needs it. But we have challenges. And once there are challenges, we admit and we are making efforts to make sure that we fix those particular challenges.
Why are you not communicating to Ghanaians your challenges?
Yes, these challenges, I believe that the ministries and departments have, the Ministry of Energy has come out to make decisions or discussions on these matters, and the people of Ghana are aware that we have some few challenges. They were talking about overload of some transformers, and then some of the lines were being pushed down on certain instances that investigations are happening. Most of these communities that are affected on this particular happenings can testify to that fact. So we are working on it. The Minister of Energy is working on it, and we are making sure that we are not going to leave Ghanaians under that particular darkness that John Mahama did. John Mahama did worse, and we are not comparing that because it is happening. But what is happening today, it is incomparable to what happened under John Mahama, and that is what Ghanaians know.
I'm grateful for your time. Haruna Mohammed is the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. This afternoon, the National Democratic Congress has also indicated that it will not participate in the Jiso by-election. Before I bring you that sound, it has also criticized President Akufo-Addo for his decision to rename the Ameri Power Plant to Kumasi Thermal Power Plant. The Ameri Power Plant was procured in 2015 under a build, own, operate and transfer arrangement to produce a total of 250 megawatts of power to shore up Ghana's energy generation capacity. But according to the NDC, the decision to rename and relocate the plant to Angumaso in the Ashanti region is unrealistic and costly.
The Akufo-Addo and Bawumia government, having failed in all their endeavors to bastardize the Ameri deal engineered by the visionary and nation builder John Mahama to end the age-old doomsaw, they are now seeking to obliterate John Mahama's enduring legacy in the energy sector. And one of such moves is the scheduled recommissioning and renaming of the Ameri Power Plant on Wednesday, 17th April 2024 at Angumaso in the Oforikrum municipality in the Ashanti region. The questions many people are asking are, why will the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government waste scarce resources to recommission a power plant that has already been commissioned in 2015? Why is the Akufo-Addo government seeking to change the name of the power plant from Ameri to K1 TPP? How does the mere recommissioning and renaming of the power plant from Ameri to K1 TPP help resolve the financial crisis that is the main cause of the doomsaw Ghanaians are presently experiencing? How on earth does the mere relocation of the Ameri power plant from Abuaze in the western region to Kumasi cost $35 million, which is over 3 times more the amount Otumfuo Osei Tutu is soliciting to renovate the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital? The more questions we ask, the more confused we become as to the true intentions of this clueless and incompetent Akufo-Addo government. Need we say that the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, having borrowed so much with very little to show, is seeking to rebrand and take credit for most of the projects initiated by the visionary John Dramani Mahama just to create a false sense of performance in the minds of the people? They started with the Kumasi Airport Phase 2 project, which is one of President Mahama's towering achievements in Ashanti region, and now the renaming of the Ameri power plant to K1 TPP. But let it be known that when doomsaw was collapsing the businesses of inhabitants of the Ashanti region and beyond, it was John Mahama's Ameri power plant, howsoever it is called, that was brought in to save the situation.
Still in the Ashanti region, the National Democratic Congress has officially stated that it will not partake in the Jiso by-election scheduled for April 30. General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Q, who made the announcement, said the party is instead focusing on preparing for the main parliamentary elections in December. Delegates from the NPP in the constituency elected Kwabena Boateng, the second vice chairman for the party in the constituency last Saturday, April 13, as their candidates for the by-election. Listen to Fifi Q making the announcement.
NDC will officially not be taking part in the Ejisu by-election. We've already set into motion processes leading to December 7. Just a few months away. We want to continue those processes and ensure that come December 7 we are prepared to combat in all the constituencies, and Ejisu will be one of them. So for this particular by-election, NDC will not take part in it. Let's just say that we are very confident about the processes we have in place. We just want to make sure we have the time to implement them fully. And between now and December 7, we'll be in the position to make sure we are deploying everything we've got. So that really will be the way we want to go.
Time now to hear from you, the electorate. What will inform your vote on December 7? Today's voter's voice is from Mo.
We, the youth, we want to tell them that we don't like those promises without any achievement. Especially our water problem is a big issue. The road network is a big issue. When you come to education sector, I mean, the children are just there. We don't have good classrooms. Now we have a problem on the, how do you call it, our hospital. We don't have the general hospital here. We are having only polyclinic. And when you go there, there's some little issues or medical things that they can have solved. They can solve it, but they will tell you go to general hospital.
The key issue here is about our roads. If you take a car from Pong here to Komtiwan, if you get to Komtiwan, everybody will know you are coming from Pong because the dust on the road is fucking bad. And it seems nobody seems to care about it. And two, our water supply is very bad. The water comes and like a week or two and it goes off. It will come like in 3 weeks' time before the water comes. And three, our health sector, that's the Pong center there. It seems the place is very small. The wards are very small. If the road is fixed well, and our water supply too, it's good, and the health sector is good. If they have that manifesto within the two parties, then I can choose where or who to vote for.
The dust, we are suffering. Actually, we are suffering. And you know what I can say is that because everybody knows that this constituency is for the NDC, because the majority they vote for NDC, and we've been here, and another MP will come without doing anything.
Before I vote, we need proper roads, and maybe we want to see our hospital functioning perfectly. Yeah. And also with our education system, I think the government is not helping the youth for these two parties. What I want them to do for us before they get our vote is what I outlined. Being it proper roads, our hospital being working perfectly, and also helping the young ones with their talents to reach the top there.
You heard there some electors from Bon sharing their views on what will inform their votes on December 7th. That'll be it for your election brief. It's on your election headquarters. Election headquarters is for an informed electorate. Log on to myjohnline.com for more of the news and updates of the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.